News broke that Barclays Bank was planning to shut down the accounts of Somali money transfer companies known as Hawala.
We don't have any other income to pay for our children's school, rent, or anything else.
I knew immediately this story mattered to me and to millions of Somalis in the diaspora, and to our families back home. Welcome back to my journalism toolkit. If this is your first time, I'm Jamal Osman. Each week, I reflect on some of the stories I have reported over the years. It was June 2013. Barclays was the last major British bank still working with Somali remittance firms. The bank claimed the companies didn't have adequate safeguards. There were fears the system could be exploited, money laundering or worse. But shutting it all down, that felt like throwing the lifeline overboard. In this story, the main players were the senders, us in the diaspora, the beneficiaries, our families back home, the Hawala companies, and Barclays Bank. We began our story in Mogadishu, the people who would be hit the hardest. The city streets were still dusty with sleep. Inside a modest home, we met two little girls, Lul and Nastejo, eating breakfast, a simple meal but hard one. Their mother Hawa told us it came thanks to the money sent by family in Britain.
We have heard the British are stopping our money. We depend on the little that our relatives send us, and we request the British, please do not stop this money coming.
No one in that house had a steady income. That remittance was everything. And they weren't alone. Millions of Somali families survive this way. You walk into a small shop in any Western city with the Somali community, hand over cash, and within minutes, it reached Somalia in crisp dollar bills. Today, it's instant, sent straight to phones. But back then, the system, fragile as it was, stood on the brink of collapse. Thousands of miles away in East London, I stepped into one of those same offices. I have done it countless times. Walk in, hand over cash, send it to family, relatives, friends, colleagues. Like thousands of immigrants here in the UK, I come into one of these offices every month to send money to my family back home. It's fast and reliable, but more importantly, this is the only legal way to transfer money to Somalia. Those companies deposited our money into their Barclays account, but then the bank announced it was shutting those accounts down in just 1 month. No appeal, no real explanation. I sat down with the manager at the Habshil, one of the largest Hawala firms.
We have been using the Barclays Bank service for the last 15 years. They were happy with us. And then, just surprisingly, last month, they wrote to us and say, we will close in our accounts.
Most other banks had already pulled out. Barclays was the last one standing. If they left, the legal route would vanish. That's when the fear kicked in. Not fear of inconvenience, fear of hunger, fear of children missing school because parents couldn't pay the fees. Back in the UK, I spoke with British Somalis who were desperate.
If that doesn't reach them, then it won't be possible for them to even eat or to, have any basic medical, even buying a disinfectant for their kids.
Somalia didn't have a functioning banking system. This wasn't about ease, it was about survival. And shutting down legal transfers would only push people underground.
They're talking about money laundering and systems. Closure of this kind of account will lead to people going to underground and sending money illegally. And I don't think that's the interest of the UK government or the Barclays Bank.
We pushed the story, we made noise. Hours before we aired the piece, Barclays blinked, just a little. They gave the Hawala companies more time, 1 month, a temporary relief. But that wasn't a solution, it was only a delay. If another bank didn't step in, the lifeline would be cut for good. This wasn't a story about banking, it was a story about belonging, about the invisible threads that tie us across oceans, across generations. When the money arrives, families eat, kids go to school, medicine gets bought, lives carry on. When it doesn't, the consequences run deeper than any financial report can show. To see more stories like this, join me on Substack. This is my journalism toolkit. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.